Welcome back to Philip's Hot Rod Garage, except this ain't Philip.
I guess that'll work. What's up, guys? I got a car show coming up this weekend, so I decided to take the Mustang and my daughter's Mustang. Got my buddy come down here with me, Eric. He brought his, and then we got my daughter's car out here today. She won first place last year with her car, so we'll see what happens this year. We'll see what happens. Her car is a lot nicer than mine. I know I'm not going to be winning any trophies, but I'll get there, guys. It'll get there. I just gave it its first bath since I've owned it. Look at that, guys. I got that thing clean. So let me show you guys what we're going to do. And this video is going to be a little bit different than what I normally do. This video is just going to be kind of hanging out in the shop this week, doing a little bit each night to the car. This thing is definitely not going to win any trophies for nicest paint or anything of that nature, but there are some things on the car that are kind of unsightly, and I just want to do some things to make the car look a little bit better this week. So we're going to hang out in the shop every night and do a little bit of tinkering here and there on this car and see if we can get this thing to look better. And then we're going to the show this weekend. We're going to cruise these two Mustangs down there, and then we are going to get a little footage of the show. I'll show you guys that at the end of the video, and we're just going to have a good week. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Let's get this thing ready to go. Now, probably one of the worst looking things on this car is these headlights. These things look terrible. So we got a brand new set. We're going to go ahead and pop them in real quick. This is what we're going to start on first. Now, this paint looks pretty bad. We can't do anything about that right now, but we can fix this trim, because we can do that, and that'll help it look a little better for sure. And there's no telling what else we're going to get done. We're just going to use up all the time we have available to do as much work as we possibly can. So let's go ahead and get these headlights out. All right, so I've got 2 nuts holding the outer park light in, 3 nuts holding the headlight in, and 2 nuts holding the inner park lights in on each side. So that's a total of 14 nuts that I got to take off, and then we'll probably just throw these things in the trash. All right, I got them out, but check this out. Somebody painted the bumper with the headlights in the car, and that's just not the way to do it. This looks like maybe like a cheap Mako paint job or something. We'll get all that took care of at some point, but what you want to do is you want to tape up the header panel and paint this part of the bumper when you're painting the car, so you don't end up with this bad edge right here. So anyway, I've got this new headlight kit from LMR. It's got new headlights, new park lights, the inner and the outer park lights, headlights, the mounting brackets, the weather strip that goes around the headlights, all new fasteners, new nuts here, and new studs for these headlight mounting panels. So yeah, let's go ahead and get all that put together. All right, now, better get a socket to fit that. All right, so I got one. All right, so the hardest part about putting a headlight in a Fox body is getting these adjusters lined up correctly so that the headlight fits correctly in the hole. So what I like to do is I like to go ahead and put the outside light in. And just get it loosely fitting into the car by putting the nuts on there. Just finger tight. There's the top one done. Get the bottom one on. All right, those are just finger tight now. Now that kind of establishes the position of the headlight on the outside right here. So when I stick this in now, I can get a good idea of what's got to happen. And it's pretty clear that the whole headlight has got to go in on this side. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm going to get a wrench to fit these, and I'm going to turn this headlight in on the inside. All right, so I got it looking pretty good here on the outside. You can see right here it's got a nice flush fit between the headlight and the outer park light. So that looks pretty good. So now I got to fit the headlight to the inner light. So let's get that done next. It's actually not too bad, but the headlight needs to go in just a little bit on this corner. What do I do with my ratchet? Oh, there it is. Well, let's just do it the hard way. Or I might call this the easy way. Okay. All right, that looks pretty good. So I think I can go ahead and put the seal around the headlight and go ahead and bolt all this stuff back in. All right, I finally got it. That took a lot more effort than I thought it would. Let's get in the car and see how it looks. Well, it went in perfect till I put the bulb in, which has nothing to do with it fitting in there. So, all right, I got it. Now that, guys, that right there is how you want your headlights to look on a Fox body. Now some people try to get the headlight to line up with this line on this bumper right here. Let me bring you in closer and show you what I'm talking about. This line right here. Notice how far the park light is, how far in it is from that line right there. It is flush out here, but it dips in right there. Now that's how they come from the factory. So they're not supposed to line up 100% right there. I have in the past spaced this light out, moved the headlight out because I thought it looked better with that lined up. But what ends up happening is when you close your hood down, this point right here on the hood ends up breaking the light right here. If you ever see a park light broke right here on a Mustang, it's from somebody slamming the hood down on that light and that corner hitting it. In my younger years, I tried to make that line up thinking that that was not right, but then I realized at some point along the way that they're all that way and that's how Ford designed it, so you got to leave that in right there, just like that. That looks pretty good. So unfortunately, I can't put the headlight bulb in there because somebody put these old, I guess they're El Cheapos, I don't know. Aux beam, little LEDs, but one side works and the other side doesn't. So I'm just gonna get some standard bulbs to go back in there. All right, guys, that's all I'm gonna get done tonight. I spent some time washing the car when I got home, so kind of cut into my time for getting work done. I gotta pick up the bulbs tomorrow anyway, so I'll pick up those tomorrow and then we'll put the driver's side in tomorrow night and then we're gonna get started on the next project. So I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Pulling into O'Reilly's. Gotta see if they got some headlight bulbs. That'll work right there. All right, guys, so I made it home with the new bulbs, but my wife decided to take over the shop and vacuum her car out right in the middle of me trying to make a video. So while she's doing that, I'll go ahead off camera and put the driver's side back together. You guys saw how the passenger side went, so no reason to show you that again. So When she's done with that, we'll stick the headlight bulbs in. We'll take a look at how these new headlights look, and then we'll figure out what project we're gonna do next and move on to the next thing. So let's get it done. All right, so my wife's done with her car now. I got the headlights put in while she was doing that. And I must say that is a major improvement. I personally like the way the stock headlights look in these Fox bodies a lot better than the aftermarket headlights that are available for them. Now, I know everybody's different. Some people like the aftermarket lights, but I personally like the stock ones. You know, to each his own, but I prefer the stock ones. I think they look good. So let's go ahead and put the new bulbs in now and turn them on, see how they look with them turned on. Then we're gonna move on to another project. All right, that's one side done. Now, I guess all you guys know that you're not supposed to touch the glass part of one of these bulbs. I'm surprised how many people don't know that, but if you touch the glass, leave your fingerprints on there, it'll cause the bulb to fail pretty quick. And then when you're putting it down into the headlights, you don't want to let the glass get against anything, get any kind of oil or anything on it, because that'll also cause it to fail. All right, looks good. So let's turn them on, see how good they look. All right, guys, that looks pretty good. Looks good to me. That's a whole lot better than what I was working with before. All right, so the next thing I got to do is put on a set of pedal covers. The covers on these pedals down here are worn out. One of them's completely missing. I'm gonna show you. All right, it's really not hard to see what's going on here. We're just gonna put these on real quick. It won't take but just a minute. Oh yeah, and I gotta put this piece back under the steering column also. I'll do that in a little bit. All right, that's got the brake pedal. Now let's put on the clutch pedal. All right, now guys, that looks a lot better. I need to get in here and paint these pedals. Carpet needs cleaning, but I got a solution for that problem right now. That ought to get us fixed up. All right, we're gonna stick these in here and see how they look. Should be a major improvement, guys. Should be. All right, guys, so that carpet's gonna need a good cleaning, but I don't have time for that this week before the show. That's gonna come later, sometime in the future. But hey, don't those floor mats look a lot better? I think so. I think that's just what I needed. Look at that, looks great. So a few other things we gotta do on the interior before this weekend is I gotta get this door handle right here fixed. And right here on the seat belt, this thing's all messed up. It's just kind of rotten and broke. I'm just going to cut it off because I don't have new ones for it yet. They sell these, I just hadn't ordered them yet. So we got to get that done and put that panel back under the steering column. And I don't know, maybe a few more things. Looks like I might have to do something with that interior light. Look at that thing. It's flashing on and off. Well, it's going to stop flashing about the time I say something about it. Look at that. It may just be making a bad connection. I don't know. We'll check it. All right, guys, I found my little parts car here that's got the right tail lights that I need for my car. These are 87 to 93 style lights. My car actually has a set of 86 and older tail lights in it. So let's yank these out real quick. See if we can't get that thing looking like it's supposed to look. All right, so I got them out, but one thing I noticed once I got them out is this lens is darker than this lens. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it's just dirty, I don't know. But I'm gonna take them apart, see if I can clean them up, see what's going on with that, and maybe I can salvage these. I'll let you see them in a little bit. All right, guys, so I made it back home with the tail lights and got them cleaned up real good at work today. But they are a little bit different. It seems like the clear part where the reverse light is, the reverse light section there, seems like this lens might be a little darker, but now all the black paint's faded out from around here. So I'm hoping that when I put the black back on there, that quite possibly the black paint's causing the lens to look a little darker. If not, I guess it'll still be okay. I don't know if I'm gonna use these back housings or not. I might just pop the lenses off the ones that are on the car now and stick these lenses on there. That might be the best thing to do. I don't know, but first thing I gotta do is go ahead and repaint down inside here. So I got some tape right here. And I got some trim black to paint it with. So that's what I gotta get done now. Oh yeah, I can see better now. All right, now I can get it done. All right, so as you can see, it's coming along pretty good, but it's just gonna take a while. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera off. You guys don't wanna see the boring stuff. So I'm gonna turn the camera off and go ahead and knock this out real quick. And then I'll show you guys what it looks like before I start putting the paint on. All right, guys, there it is. It looks pretty good. Definitely took a few minutes to do that. So it's time to stick some paint on it. All right, it's dry, so now it's ready to untape. This is always the best part, when you get to untape it and see how it looks. All right, check that out, guys. It looks pretty good. It's amazing what fresh paint will do for something. I think some of the solvents out of the paint soaked through the paper, dulled it out. Didn't get paint on it, but left it a little bit dull. So let me polish that real quick, and then we're gonna stick these on. See the difference, guys? This is 87 to 93. This is 86 and older. And I like these much better, and these are correct for the car. So one thing I really don't understand is why somebody would put something on the car or change something on the car and make it look worse. You know, these look great on the older cars because they look right at home. But on this car, these just look so much better to me. So I'm just gonna put it back original. Let's do it. Now, these aren't too hard to get off. They actually just come off just by pulling against them with a little pressure. They just come right off. So Yeah. They do have some sealer around them. It's kind of like a tape sealer. And it will make a mess if the sealer's not real old. It'll come off kind of stringy. But if it's old, the sealer's usually going to be brittle. Now I've got some new sealer to go in here. Got a new kit from LMR, 83 to 93 Mustang taillight seal kit. It's got new clips and new seals. But honestly, this sealer that's around here actually looks pretty good. And most likely when I go to paint the car, I'm gonna pull the taillights out, and when I pull them out, I can replace the seals then. But for now, I just wanna make it to the car show, so I'm gonna do this the quick way and get this done. So this thing looks better. It looks correct. This goes on the other side. So I'm just gonna leave the sealer as it is. It looks pretty good. Looks like it's in good shape. These lights are not very old. Yeah, there's no sealer left on the lens. All the sealer is on the housing, so it should seal up nice and tight. It should. So I'm just gonna go with it. There's some little clips in here that hold it on. And as long as they're not bent from taking it out, they'll hold it just fine. So, like I said, got new ones, but the old ones I think will be fine. Just gotta apply some pressure to them to get them to clip in place and stick into the sealer that's on there. Just like that. Now these things, if they don't lock in good, they will come off. And I've seen a lot of cars at the drag strip. It's pretty funny when you when they launch the car, taillights just fall off. All right, that looks a whole lot better to me. So let me show you guys a couple of other things about this. Now the 87 to 93 lights stick out a little bit further, and you can see right here how it sits kind of flush with the end of the quarter panel right there. Same down here on the bumper, sits kind of flush with the bumper right here. See how good that looks? Now I'm gonna show you the other side, show you what I didn't like about it. Look at the difference right here in the way that sits. The quarter panel sticks way out from the tail light. And same down here with the bumper. Look at that right there. Look how far the bumper sticks out from the light. I just didn't like that about it. That doesn't look good to me. It doesn't look good at all. I'm gonna go back to the other side. See that? Big difference. I like these lights much better. All right, so that project's done. Now let's move on to something else. Just the way Ford intended it. All right, guys, I'm done. I am tired. I'm beat down tired. It has been a long week. I've been working on the coupe all week long. And then I knew I had to get my daughter's car in and get it done too. So I had to buff this thing tonight and get it done. It's about 11 o'clock on Friday night. The show's in the morning. So we're ready to go. But I went ahead and took the coupe to work with me today and I had a little bit of time to work on it at work, so I got a few things done to it, got it finished up and ready to go. And so, yeah, let me show you what I did to it, and then tomorrow we're going to the show. All right, so real quick, what I did was I went ahead and touched the bumper up with some paint right up under the bottom. They had hit something and knocked off some paint, and some yellow spots were exposed where the paint was peeling. I went ahead and took care of that. I touched up a little bit of the trim around the car. It's rough, it needs paint. We've already talked about that. Someday it'll be as nice as my daughter's car when I get it painted. But I went ahead and put the armrest back on. I put the cover back under the steering column, under there. Got all that tidied up and looking good on the inside. And I went ahead and painted this piece of trim right here. It's not perfect, but it definitely looks better than it did with that big aluminum spot shining on it where the paint was peeling off. So that's about it. That's about all I got done on it. As you can see, the taillights look a lot better and the headlights look a whole lot better. So as soon as we get all the mechanical stuff done on this car, we'll go ahead and paint it so it looks as nice as my daughter's car. I painted her car like 4 years ago, and it never sees a shelter. She drives it every day. So it's a real nice car, but I'll have this coupe looking that good sooner or later. Won't take too long. But for now, it's showtime. They ready to go? I'm ready to go. So in the morning, we'll get these cars out of here. We're gonna just go enjoy the day at the show. All right, guys, we at the show. We made it. I got the Fox body down here, and I got my buddy come down here with me, Eric. He brought his, and then we got my daughter's car out here today. She won first place last year with her car. What is that? First? Mm-hmm. What?
I'm just that good.
All right. We'll see what happens. Her car is a lot nicer than mine. I know I'm not going to be winning any trophies, but I'll get there, guys. It'll get there. So let's go walk around and check out some of these other cars. All right, guys, they got music playing in the background, so I can't talk much. I'm just gonna have to put some music over the top of this. But this is my buddy Mike's Duster. Pretty neat old car. This is my buddy Joe's little Model A. It's a cool car. All right, guys, that's it for this video. The show was good. My daughter ended up getting a trophy, but her trophy was for her car being owned by 3 generations. So it was owned by my father, it was owned by me. My brother had the car for a while, and then now my daughter's got it. So that's 3 generations. So that was pretty cool. She got a trophy for that. But as you guys can see, I already got the Mustang back in the shop, and I'm already working on it again. I got it tore down, doing some suspension upgrades and stuff. So I'll show you guys what's going on in the next video. See you guys in the next one.